The thought of living in northern countries like Finland, Norway or Sweden has always fascinated people. Although northern countries are frightening in terms of climate, they shed light on the hearts of other societies with their quality of life. Whichever way you look at it. Don't we have ideas of visiting other countries in recent years? I don't know if it is unique to our new generation, but we all somehow find that somewhere in other parts of the world, especially in the north of the planet, there are living conditions very different from ours. We are all aware that the thing that makes you think, will you live there, is beyond the climate, you know. I don't just look at it from an economic point of view. For example, people naturally want to taste foods they have never tasted before, discover new things on the streets they have never been to, and contact minds from different cultures, of course. He wants to taste these experiences in safe societies, away from chaos and without war. Such changes add color and excitement to people's lives. Afterwards, we hold on to life more tightly and become happy. Sometimes we praise the education systems of countries like Finland. Sometimes we talk about the level of prosperity. Sometimes we envy their lifestyle and quality of life. We all open our eyes to the world with the same white page. And when we reach a certain adulthood, we begin to question what is going on in life and the living conditions we have. As our life adventure continues, we witness the moments when people in the north live happier than our people. Then we go in front of the mirror and in our 20s, our hair starts to turn white. And we understand that our cells of life are fading because of the country's agenda. That's when dreams of immigrating to foreign lands begin. Considering cultural differences, a different language, a worse climate, the possibility of leaving your family behind and being exposed to racism, because they want to live the life of people. Living in countries like Finland before our people's life ends, when she's old, she doesn't want to look back and sigh and say, I had almost nothing and my time was up. I also get some negative comments when I refer to societies that receive heavy immigration like Finland as a civilized country. And they tell me to take a look at their colonial history. I already know how they reached these riches and what they burned in the past. If the countries of the Middle East were much more livable than Europe today, you can be sure that I will dedicate most of my videos to Asian and Eastern civilizations. Or not me, but their people. Quality Living Center in the Middle East, they were going to make YouTube videos on the subject. So this is a fact. These people were not only exploited in their own time, but also extremely well governed and governed. They invest in the right place at the right time. Focus only on modern quality of life and human rights. Leaving aside historical relationships in the past, if you are honest with yourself, you can easily see the gap between them. I'm not saying this to upset or anger you. I can also describe Finland superficially. However, while doing this, I also make comparisons about our own lives for people to question. Let's demand the same democracy as they can go to a national referendum for a disproportionate rent increase. Therefore, if Eastern civilizations are eager to migrate to the West despite their icy climate, unplowed lands, and exclusion, the steps taken or to be taken on behalf of our country must also be extremely populist. After this brief introspection, we can take a direct look at Finland. Finland draws attention with the similarity of cities at first glance. However, the most ideal as an opportunity is of course the capital city Helsinki. Job opportunities are higher and almost all social events are held here. But I must say that rents in Helsinki are quite high compared to other small town cities. Becoming a Finnish citizen can take between 4 and 7 years, depending on your situation. For example, if you are married to a Finnish citizen, you can obtain citizenship after living there for 4 years. However, you must also prove your ability by taking a Finnish or Swedish language test. You should also not have any unpaid taxes, because they are very sensitive about taxes. They never look into the eyes of the tax evader and impose serious sanctions. So if you're going to live there, you have to be absolutely honest. If you are going to do your own profession there, for example, if you are a lawyer, you need to get a Finnish equivalency, graduate and pass the language test again, so everything is in order. If you're a worker in Finland, you won't have any problems with severance pay or not paying overtime. You will definitely get what you deserve. On the other hand, although racism is very low in Finland compared to European countries, it is not easy for foreigners to find a job. Some politicians in the country can even make offers for foreigners to receive less salaries, but this of course did not happen. I would also like to point out that living in Finland is quite expensive for some reason. Living in northern countries with a low population is more expensive than in other European countries. Some Finns even stockpile food and drink from neighboring countries such as Estonia. They do this with ferries that run between Tallinn and Helsinki, because in the country, it is really very expensive to eat at places such as restaurants, especially alcohol, and to shop at technology stores. Rents in the capital Helsinki can easily reach 1,200 euros. They often travel by bike, because cities are usually towns and everywhere close together. However, it should be noted that the monthly bus card price is around 70 euros. If you are going to use public transportation, you are expected to say hello to the driver when getting on the bus and to thank the employees when leaving the market. I'm not exaggerating at ATM counters, but they leave a 2 to 3 meter gap between two people. There is also the famous Finnish sauna thing. You can enter these saunas naked. The more unusual thing is that the saunas are mixed between men and women. However, you can preferably use the saunas exclusively for men or women. I can't say that an ordinary day in Finland is very exciting. Especially in winter, people spend most of their time at home, because the weather is very cold at -20 degrees and it is very dark outside. In the summer, rock festivals, which are indispensable for the country, are held. Although Finns live in such a cold climate, they do not go to the doctor unless they have to. With them it has become a habit. They are always reluctant to go to the doctor unless they have a very serious illness. Not because they couldn't find an appointment, of course. Hospitals aren't as crowded as ours, so they're usually empty. In Finland's famous education system, children are not ruled by fear and orders as if they were in barracks. Values such as being moral and virtuous before mathematics and physics are instilled in children. They are released as much as possible in the classrooms. For example, children can take off their shoes in the classroom and walk around in socks. In school, friend-friend relations are established rather than principal-student relations. Children are released and classes are small. Thus, a better quality ground is formed between the teacher and the student. In other words, it is not to give homework to students, but to reflect the understanding of morality and decency in a different way. Apart from these, if you are going to Finland as a tourist, you will not see anything specific except calmness and expensiveness. Even the capital, Helsinki, does not promise big things to tourists. If you are looking for excitement and action, this is not the place for you. Only the country's natural national parks, saunas and northern lights are in demand here. In addition, Finland is a stress-free and quiet country where hiking and fishing are practiced. Also try risipiraka, a traditional Finnish dish made with salmon soup and rice. See you in the next video. Bye.